So let's go ahead and take a look at, dare I say, some tougher examples. Again, rather than graphing secant outright, what I'm going to do is change this to its corresponding cosine. So this would be 3 cosine x minus pi over 4 plus 1. All right, and we're going to analyze it using stuff earlier from chapter 4. So the stuff that's impacting y, my a is 3, so we've got a vertical stretch, and my c is 1, so we're shifting the equilibrium up by 1. So those are the things that are impacting y. B is equal to 1, so our period is still 2 pi. And then D in this case is pi over 4. So we're going to go to the right pi over 4 units. Okay, so this is the stuff that's impacting x. So again, we go to our nice data points for cosine. Those are all our quadrantal angles. And we know we're 1, 0, negative 1, 0, and 1. Okay, so those are our nice data points. So putting things together, we're going to first do the multiplications and divisions. So B is 1, so we don't have to worry about that, but A is 3, so we're going to multiply all these guys by 3. So our x values aren't changing. We're 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. But all our y values are being multiplied by 3. So we got 3, 0, negative 3, 0, and 3. So that is A and B. For C, we're going to take all our y values and add c. We're going to add 1. And we're going to take all our x values and add pi over 4. And so that's going to create a new data set. Let me bring it down here. If we add 1, we're going to get 3 plus 1 is 4, 1, negative 2, 1, and 4. So that's my y values for that corresponding data set. If we add pi over 4 to everything, we're going to get pi over 4. If I add pi over 4 to pi over 2, right, that is basically 2 pi over 4 plus pi over 4, which is 3 pi over 4. All right, if I add it to pi, we're going to get 5 pi over 4, and I got my data points kind of off. And then if I go to the next one, I'm going to have a 7 pi over 4. I think you guys kind of get the rhythm. And then the next one will be a 9 pi over 4. Okay, so those are all my data points. So these are all the data points that have been manipulated on a cosine graph, right? That cosine graph. So to go graph it on that one period, right, we have basically pi over 4, and then we have 3 pi over 4, and then we have 5 pi over 4, and 7 pi over 4, and 9 pi over 4. We have their negatives. And we can even keep going on, right? It looks like we have odd multiples of pi over 4. And so for our graph, right, we have pi over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So pi over 4 and 4. Right, we have 3 pi over 4 and 1. We have 5 pi over 4 and negative 2. We have 7 pi over 4 and we're back at 1. And then 9 pi over 4, we're at 1. And this is going to keep just repeating this pattern, right? So we're just going to keep repeating this pattern over and over and over again. So in red is our graph, several different things of cosine, all right? And then the idea, remember, our equilibrium is occurring right here at y equals 1. So wherever we're crossing the equilibrium, the secant graph that we're now going to sketch has a vertical asymptote. Okay, so we have vertical asymptote. It looks like at negative 5 pi over 4, negative pi over 4, right? 3 pi over 4, and 7 pi over 4, and I guess that's 11 pi over 4. And then wherever we're at a high point for cosine, we're actually at a low point for secant. and wherever we're at a low point for cosine, we're at a high point for secant. So there's several different graphs again in the blue pen, all right, for our secant graph. So you can see that it's been stretched and moved up because the equilibrium's up 1, and then you can kind of see that amplitude of 2 for the cosine graph. All we've done for the secant graph is kind of made the low and high points just kind of be stretched out a little bit. So there you have it. So we have some important data. Pi over 4, and it looks like 4, right, is one of our relative minimums, right? 9 pi over 4 and 4 is also another one. We have 5 pi over 4 and negative 2, and 13 pi over 4 and negative 3 pi over 4 being some relative maximums. And we clearly have our asymptotes defined at negative pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, etc., etc. Okay, so again, taking advantage of a cosine graph and knowing what we have, and then using that to create a secant graph. There's the trick, and that's why I'm sticking to it. There's less points to memorize. It's easy to manipulate those points, and then just take the graph and kind of split it up with regard to the secant. All right, we're 6 minutes into this, so that's not enough time to cut another video. So let me pause here, and I'll come back in another one, and we'll take a look at that 4 cosecant of x plus pi over 2 minus 3.